Risa. How are you?
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. So today I am talking with Risa Gaull, who is a mind-body stress relief expert. And if we ever needed stress relief experts, I think now is the time. So I'm excited to talk to you and hear, a little bit about what exactly it is you are offering or talking about when it comes to stress relief in this complicated time that we're in right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of the things I do is I teach Qigong, which
Okay.
I don't know if people are familiar with that, but I'll just tell you real briefly. So Qigong means energy work, ancient Chinese healing exercises to calm your mind and release tension and stimulate your qi, your life energy in your body for disease prevention and healing. So my background is actually health and wellness. So I have a lot of experience with traditional approaches to stress management, but then I combine it with the Qigong and transformational life coaching. So I've been doing a lot of help for people with stress management. So that's what's different about how I approach it, because I combine it with the mind-body practices, as well as how do you manage your thoughts, how do you process your feelings, how do you do really good self-care. And for sure, right now, I'm definitely pulling out all my tools out of my tool bag for myself and for other people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the multi-pronged approach because it really is. It's not just one thing. It's really how do we take care of the mind and the body and the spirit at this time, which sometimes we tend to focus on one more than the other. So I love that. And I've been hearing a lot about Qigong lately. It's kind of funny. I keep getting a lot of emails about it. It was recently in a Hay House series. They were talking about actually people healing from some serious diseases. And one of the common threads among all the people was the practice of Qigong, which I thought was very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you been doing that a long time?
I've been doing it for a long time, almost over 25 years now.
Okay.
I've been teaching Tai Chi and Qigong. So it's very easy, very simple, very powerful tool for self-healing. These are ancient Chinese healing exercises, like 5,000 years old. So I've been doing that for a long time. I also do individual healing work called medical Qigong therapy, which is like acupuncture without needles. So it's sometimes hands-on, working with acupressure points, and sometimes just working with the Qi, working with the energy field around the body. I've just been doing it for so long, I can feel where your energy blockages are, where your imbalances are, clear energy, emit healing Qi. So that's the idea with Chinese medicine, is when your energy system gets out of balance, you get a blockage in your energy pathways, then it manifests eventually on a physical level as illness or injury. It all starts on an energetic level. So so the Qigong is a very powerful tool for self-healing. And even from a Western perspective, like the American Medical Association would say that over 90% of all illness is stress related. And so from a Chinese medicine perspective too, that's probably the biggest thing, that throws your energy system out of balance is your mental and emotional state, is how stressed we are. So we got to come into alignment, calm our minds down, come into alignment and find that calmness, that peace within ourselves. That goes a long way to help keep us healthy and feeling good, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Qigong sounds like it's a main component of what you are using to combat sort of any fear that's arising right now. Are there any other sort of tools that you're relying on a lot more lately, or that maybe you've always relied on and they're just you're tried and true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Qigong is really powerful and really helpful for calming your mind down, releasing the tension from your body, like I said, and just, getting you into that really calm, peaceful place. And the way that I teach it is really, really guide you within, so you can find that peaceful place within yourself. And so the more we practice, then I think that, we do sort of create more ability to stay calm throughout the day, especially like if you do it in the morning. So yeah, so the Qigong practice is very, very foundational, I think. But then it's also like, it's one thing to relieve stress, but it's another thing to help prevent yourself from getting into a really negative space mentally and emotionally to begin with. And so there's a lot of really good tools on how to manage your thoughts and what do you do when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling worried. And so I have some really good tools that I'm actually going to be sharing in an upcoming series that I'm doing through the town of Farmington, actually, for how to, like, some of the, more than we have time to like really do a whole experience with everybody today. But if people want more information about that, I'll give that to you at the end. But yeah, definitely how, most people don't know it. Like, it actually is possible to take control of your mind.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Yeah,
I know it doesn't feel easy. It's not always easy. It doesn't, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it's possible, where you really do have a choice. And it starts with becoming aware, and the cue of what, just becoming aware of like, what am I actually thinking? Because a lot of times we're not even really aware. It's kind of below the radar, well, what is going on back there anyways, really, So, your cue is when you start to feel anxious or stressed or upset, then that's your cue. It's like, okay, I'm starting to feel worried about, whatever. And so what thoughts am I actually entertaining right now? Because that is very natural. The mind's natural tendency is to go toward the negative, and it's projecting out into the future. And most of the stuff that it's projecting never really happens anyway. There was a study that somebody did saying like 90% of the things that we worry about never actually happen. And I know that, like, we're in unusual circumstances right now, so it's easier to be worried about a lot of stuff. But even so, it's important that we manifest what we focus on. So it's like wherever your energy goes, then that's, you're gonna get more of. It's like whatever you focus on expands. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So we really is so, this is the stuff I love. And this is, life processing is like hard. How do I become more empowered in choosing what I want to experience in my life? And being gentle with myself and noticing when my thoughts are going into a negative place, and having the tools I need to be able to pivot my thoughts and to be able to easily release whatever uncomfortable emotions I'm feeling, and to be able to sit down and I have a very powerful process that I teach people, and we're going to be doing this in the class that I'm going to be doing, called the 4A process for emotional freedom.
Love that.
Yeah. So like our natural tendency is to just want to distract ourselves from whenever we're feeling something uncomfortable, which is completely normal. So we may do things like eat. I know I do that. Or, watch TV, or just whatever, we would pick, some people will then, maybe drink more, or, whatever you tend to go towards, which might help short term, but in the long term is not going to really be beneficial. So what we need to do is, have a tool like the 4A process, where we can just sit down and be able to easily release whatever we're feeling, instead of suppressing it. Because when you suppress it, it actually creates more stress, because then we've got like this internal struggle going on, like, oh, I don't want to feel that, push it down. And I always tell people, it's kind of like if you've ever tried to hold a beach ball underneath the water, it takes a lot of energy, and and then as soon as we stop pushing, it comes exploding up to the surface. So that's kind of how our feelings, it's important that we find ways to be able to just, not have to be suppressing what we're feeling all the time. Right.
Yeah, and I love that because in coaching as well, it is so empowering to know that we do have some more control over both our thoughts and our feelings. Because I think sometimes we just don't even realize how much we subject ourselves to things and we don't stop and sort it out. And we call it catastrophic thinking in coaching. I'm sure you've heard that term, where people do that projection out into the future, and really need to bring it back to the present moment. So I love that you're talking about different ways that you can do that. It's possible, and it is a choice. And yeah, that's so important.
Yeah, yeah. That's like the number one key, I think, is I always teach people for stress management. The number one thing is, first of all, come back into your body.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of your head, because your head's, is running fast, and it's not in the present moment. It's either in the future or it's in the past. And so if we can come back into our body, come back to our breath, come back into the present moment, in this moment, we're okay, right? Everything's all right now in this moment. So yeah, and then having the tools to manage the thoughts and process the feelings. So it's really a good combination. So those are like, and then those are sort of 4 key areas that I work with people in my programs, in my stress management program. There's one, calm your mind, come back into your body, and tools for that, and then how to manage your thoughts, how to process your feelings, and then the 4th piece really is self-care.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know we're
Yes.
all needing to do a lot of that right now. So how do you build that into your life? Yeah.
Right, absolutely. And again, there's that sort of idea that somehow it's not important, and so many people put that at the bottom of the list, but it's really the thing that should be the first thing, because without it, we can't do these practices to access control over our thoughts or our feelings, without even taking the time for that self-care. Because sometimes that self-care is just that pause that allows us to be able to do these things. So it's so important. Yeah, I love that. I love that. So we've got Qigong, we've got some working on our thoughts and our feelings, and our self-care. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. And so tell me a little bit more about the programs that you're doing, so that people can find you if they would like to participate. And obviously assuming these are going to be online, so anybody can find them.
Yes. So they'll be up on my Facebook page. I'll have all the events up there. We just put this together, so I'm going to put it up today. But it's Full Circle Wellness CT for Connecticut. Full Circle Wellness CT. If you just search for that in Facebook, you'll find my page with all the events on there and the links for that. So I have yes, this from stress to strength, how to flourish in challenging times. It's going to be a 4-week class starting next week, all complimentary through the town of Farmington. And so that'll be 4 quick Zoom calls, and we're going to hit on each of those 4 areas. We're going to do a little bit of Qigong. We're going to do some, actually get into show you how to, some tools for how to pivot your thoughts. And that we're going to talk about that 4A process for emotional freedom, how to process your feelings, and then a little bit more about how to do really good self-care for yourself right now to keep your immune system strong and your spirits up. And so that'll be on my Facebook page, and my I do have a website if people want more information about Qigong or the healing work. It's fullcirclewellnessct.com.
Okay, fantastic. Wow, that sounds amazing. That sounds very useful right now, and also very accessible, to have the online 4 weeks. That sounds fantastic. Yeah. And is there anything else you're doing yourself to deal with fears that are coming up in your everyday, or?
Yeah, I know that I'm feeling like I need more time to meditate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very always needing to go outside and go for my walks. I walk every day just to be in nature, is very healing. So yeah, just taking that, this is part of the self-care, is just making sure I take that time to stay centered and to, you know, not get all caught up in my head, and to notice when I am stressed out. It's like, it's not time to push through and just keep trying to, you know, create stuff. It's time to stop and recenter. And I want to operate from my highest, best place within myself. And so when I take that time to stop and, you know, just go for my walk, clear my head, just, you know, if I'm thinking about something that's, you know, creating a lot of negative momentum, it's like, okay, just stop thinking about that for a little while. Just take a break, go, you know, calm down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think enough people realize, even sort of in any process that we have, like any creative process, you need those downtimes. That's where you have ideas come in, and where that rest is really an essential part of anything that we're creating or trying to bring out in the world. So I love that reminder.
Yeah, I really, you know, like I really have learned that it's so much more effective if I can do that, if I can stop and really tune into like sort of that higher wisdom within myself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, let's create from that place. Let's bring that into the world, because I can try and just, you know, do what I think and like what I think I'm supposed to be doing, and not really, it just never really like works out as good as if when I take that time to really connect with, you know, take inspired action versus just action for the sake of, you know, thinking like that's what you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Our minds just don't know everything. So we really do need to access that higher inner voice.
Higher inner voice.
Yeah.
It's like the analogy of like if you were to go to vacuum your house, but you didn't plug it in, you know, you can run around and like make those marks on the rug and like think that you're getting stuff done, but like you're not really, unless you plug it in. You got to stop and plug it in first. So that's what I've really learned to plug in before I do try to do anything. Otherwise it's kind of wasted time.
Yeah. It's so true. And unfortunately, our culture really promotes the busyness and the spinning and the doing without stopping to reconnect, which is kind of why I kind of love this virus, in the sense that for some people, they're able to sort of take that moment to ground and reconnect in a ways that they may not have before. So,
yeah, I feel like there really is a lot of opportunity. People, you know, do have more flexibility with their time, probably most people right now. And so it really is an opportunity to you know, experience like just quieting down, going within. And if you're not used to that, I know that, you know, maybe that's uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. So because we're used to distracting and being distracted all the time. So that's actually what I really love about the Qigong, is that I guide you. So it's very easy, very comfortable. I guide you within to that peaceful place. Mm-hmm. So I do that for me, and I love being able to help other people to be able to access that inner wisdom and that real, you know, your truth of who you are and the real peace within yourself. So that's what I love about the Qigongs. I hope you guys can experience some of that.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I actually really knew very little about Qigong, and so I'm very intrigued and very interested in checking it out. So I will link all of your information underneath the video, which will include your Facebook page, your website, so people can check out your class coming up. And you do some Qigong classes just on their own at time every Wednesday, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I was teaching a lot of in-person classes, but so right now I have a regular class on Wednesdays at 10:30 Eastern time in the morning. And that's just, you can jump in any time and sign up for a package of 4 classes for $47. So pretty reasonable if you want to jump in. It's a private Facebook group, and I put a lot of good information there too about wellness and how to keep your immune system strong. And so you get access to all the class recordings and all that too. So that's a nice little group that we've got going on Wednesday mornings if people want to do some regular Qigong. But there will be some sample classes coming up too on Saturdays, and this stress management, stress to strength, flourishing in challenging times class coming up too. So lots of good stuff coming up to help support people through these difficult times.
Oh, fantastic. That sounds great. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your work. And it's so needed right now. So I'm so happy to connect with you. And I'm excited to post this, and hopefully some people will find you.
Great. Well, thanks so much for having me, Elizabeth. And
yeah, thanks.
My pleasure.
We'll talk soon.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.